15 facts about Australia we didn't know before.
Hey there! This is our video about 15 facts we didn't know about Australia before traveling through this beautiful country.
Yeah, and maybe some of them are quite interesting for those who want to travel to Australia too. Some of them maybe not. So let's go!
Fact 1. Aussies are friendly.
Australian people are very friendly and open-minded and very helpful. Sometimes they ask you if they can help you when you're, for example, looking for your hotel on the street. But not always, because sometimes in, for example, supermarkets, the cashiers are quite unfriendly, and that's pretty weird if you compare it to the friendly people you meet on the street.
Fact 2. Internet is crap. For sure, one of the most important things for our generation. It's not that easy here in Australia, because there is often a data volume you can use. That's pretty common here in hotels as well as in the normal families and households. But often the cities provide you with public Wi-Fi, and that's pretty cool.
Fact 3. Strange traffic lights.
If you're a pedestrian, you wait for such a long time at traffic lights, it's horrible. Sometimes you can spend a whole day waiting at traffic lights. And I don't know, it's just a strange system. And sometimes you just have to walk when it's red, otherwise you're never going to arrive anywhere.
Fact 4. Canberra is empty. Canberra, the capital of Australia, or how the Australians call it, Canberra. It's for sure the strangest capital Jonas and me have ever been to, because it's simply empty. There is a lot of space, big places, very big and very beautiful areas around the Parliament building, but there are no people. It's like a ghost city.
Fact 5. Don't be drunk on the street.
The laws in Australia are quite strict and the fees are quite high. For example, if the police catches you on the street if you are drunk, they just take you with them and you're going to sleep in a cell. And you have to pay the fee and you have to pay the cell, which is pretty expensive.
Fact 6. Vegemite is tasty. Vegemite. At least one time in your stay here in Australia, an Australian will offer you Vegemite. It's a kind of their special meal. It's organic and looks a bit like Nutella, but it's horrible. I think you have to grow up with this to consider it being delicious.
Fact 7. The koala is not a bear.
The koala, a very special animal in Australia, is not a bear. So at first I always thought it's koala bear, but then they told me that that's totally wrong and the koala isn't a bear at all. So greetings to the Harrisons.
Fact 8. Everything can kill you, but often don't want to. It's true that Australia is home to a lot of dangerous animals. But in fact, they are not that dangerous everyone thinks. For example, we didn't even see one of those dangerous animals except in the zoo or in the public aquariums. So the most dangerous thing here is probably going into the water and being killed by big waves or unexpected currents who pull you on the ocean. So that's the most dangerous thing here in Australia, and not sharks, snakes, spiders, stingrays.
Fact 9. Don't buy the Greyhound kilometre pass.
An easy way to travel in Australia if you can't drive or you don't want to drive is going with the Greyhound buses. But we had the kilometre pass and that was just bullshit. It's like you buy these kilometers and it would have been cheaper if you paid every journey for itself, and the route plan on their website was just wrong. They said they are driving down to 12 Apostles and stuff, but in fact they didn't, so we had to book a tour and pay with our kilometers, and that was really expensive. So don't buy these kilometer passes, just pay for every journey for itself.
Fact 10. Travel the Great Ocean Road by car. The Great Ocean Road is without doubt one of the most impressive and beautiful countrysides here in Australia. But don't visit this by bus, because there is just a bus tour you can book. So there is no public transport down there. You have to pay for a tour with a guide. And they go through this beautiful countryside very fast, and it's very touristic sometimes. They stop even at koala and kangaroo shields, and all the Asian people went out to make a photo with a shield. So we recommend you, when you're over 18, rent a car and do it at your own speed. That's really worth it.
Fact 11. Don't drink tap water.
The tap water in Australia is chlorinated, which is at first a little bit surprising. For example, in Noosa we had a special tap at the Harrisons with drink water, but the positive thing about tap water, usually you get free tap water, which is not chlorinated, in restaurants.
Fact 12. Public transport is organized badly. One of the things we would have expected, at least here in Australia, is the bad public transport. So actually not the buses or the trains are bad, but the organization totally is. For you as a foreigner, there is simply no advice. So often you can't even see which stop you are. There are no displays in the bus which show you what is the next stop. You just have to guess, or you have to remember the stop you have to go out.
Fact 13. The Australian national emblem.
There are two funny things about the Australian national emblem. I hope that's the correct word for it. First of all, it's a emu and a kangaroo, and these animals are in this emblem because they can't walk backwards. And the other funny thing, the Australians are one of the, I think, 6 or so countries in the world who eat their national emblem animals.
Fact 14. There is no local cuisine. The Australians have not really a special kitchen, so there are nearly no special meals. You only have the choice between Asian food, most of it's sushi, and I personally don't like it, and burgers. I mean, they make pretty good burgers. You can't say something about this. The burgers are very delicious, but when you eat 24/7 burgers, you just get tired of it.
Fact 15. Watch out for dropbears.
In Australia there's a special species we didn't know about before. It's the drop bear. So drop bears are koalas so they are actually bears. And they have more testosterone, so they are way more active. And they hang around on trees and they just drop on people and attack them. So they are quite dangerous. Bling!
So this was our little special video at the end of our 2 month here in Australia, and I hope you enjoyed it.
Yeah, and if you traveled to Australia too in the last years, maybe you have some interesting tips too, so just leave a comment below. For example, Lily, anything to add? Just write it down so everyone can read it. See you in the next video.